I'm going to show you how you can stop that flipping it impact. And we can take what the tour pros do, but you can do it also. It's easy, it's simple, but we're going to get the compression and get rid of that nasty flipping it impact that costs you yards, consistency, and causes so much frustration. Let's find out how. All right, so before I go into the fixes, let's just be a little bit prudent and kind of explain a little bit about why this might happen, be occurring, all right? Flipping it impact is basically letting the club pass the hands at, through the ball, right? Either trying to help it up, and you might think that's what you're trying to do, but usually it's a result of something that's happening back here, all right? It's like a last minute ditch subconscious effort that screws us up. So let's try and get rid of it, all right? But to understand why it's happening, it's a few things. It's not going to be one thing. Rarely it's going to be one thing. It might be like 2 or 3 of these. And in no particular order. I'll show you from down the line here, but sometimes what we're looking at is just simply an open club face, okay? And an open club face, if we're approaching the ball here, if it's way flared open, I'm exaggerating just to help, but if it's flared open this way, right, that is going to cause some really crappy golf shots, all right? Because at the last minute, we have to do something. We either have to rotate really hard, which is difficult to do, or we have to allow those sort of hands to turn over and flip through. And you see that can square the club face kind of nicely for us, all right? So why does that happen? Why do we have an open club face? It could be because of your grip, all right? It could be because your grip is simply just too weak. So just try moving your grip over a little bit to be a little bit stronger, and the right hand to be a little bit under, and for the grip, the pad of the hand to be on top of the grip, rather than gripping it so much in the palm, all right? We've got other videos on the grip, I'm not gonna bore you. But strengthening your grip can help square that club face. Not only does it help with slices, it helps with the crappy, flipping, all right? Because it's like a rescue. The other factor it can be is basically trying to hit from the top. Instead of our focus and intent being here where we want the ball to go, it's down here, thinking I've got to hit at the golf ball too much because we're hitting down and at. There isn't enough intent through. Because if you were throwing an object or whatever it might be, you would have this natural delay and this wrist hinge quite comfortably. All right, and you can even test it without even a club, all right? So just take your hand, all right? Stand up at your chair, do it. Place your hand as if you're making a golf swing, all right? And now all I want you to do is turn your body here, all right? Just turn and rotate around. You see that I've got this wrist hinge quite comfortably. So as you can see, we're trying to collect it through. So how do we stop that open club face? The grip is one thing, but we also need to try and find a way, a feeling to square that face up and trust that we are not going to hit at the ball so very much. We do not want to be focused hitting down here. We want to be swinging through, okay? And you can see from this angle, the flipping occurs when the hands pass, right? And we're doing this. But that often happens when we're hitting at the ball rather than through it, all right? And I know you do this. I know too often you're focused on hitting at the ball rather than where we want it to go, or the idea that we've got to swing through. And that's so much of what we're going to talk about today. So bear that in mind. Do you find yourself hitting at it? Because that is going to screw you up every time. Now, another quick drill we're going to do is just grabbing a towel. Doesn't really matter the length of it or whatever, but we're going to try and feel what it's like to whip through the ball. And what does that do? Again, it creates the wrist conditions that we want to get that shaft lead and that compression. Because I'm telling you, the tour pros do this, but it's something you can do too. So what we're gonna do is just grab a towel here and we're just gonna make some swings, but we're gonna feel like we're snapping the towel either with the left hand, either with the right hand. But that commitment through the ball here is gonna add so much zip. And just by feeling that towel whip through and try and straighten here, doesn't matter whether it does or not, it's gonna work wonders. So then when you actually go and try and hit some shots, okay, we're trying to get that feel there to commit through, okay? We're gonna reduce that flipping impact so easily, I promise you. So how do we practice this? We've got some feels and ideas. We've strengthened the grip up, all right? We are not trying to come too much from the inside here, and we've got our focus and intent that way. Now the movement that we want is through. We're going to squeeze those arms together and we're going to try and commit to a finish here to be positive, all right? So as we make this little swing, we're not doing anything, too dangerous or too explosive. We're almost doing a big pitch shot. But we're getting that strike. We're squeezing those arms together. Do that and you're gonna be hitting them pure. So there we have it, all right? Stop flipping at impact. People ignore the intent and straightening those arms. It's not so complicated to get it right. So just monitor your grip, monitor the club face, but really focus on squeezing those arms together, committing to that sort of short, specific finish. Practice it 20, 30 times, just those short shots, and you will, once and for all, get rid of flipping at impact. I promise you.